Hello and welcome back. In today's podcast, I will be interviewing Tristan Carter, who is a social scientist and will be discussing the positives of capitalism and the reasons our government should integrate it into our society. Well, Tristan, can you start by giving us a quick rundown on capitalism and its main ideals? Thanks, Tim. Well, capitalism. Let's start by giving us that ism, shall we? Now, what would be left? Capital, right? Capital is correct. And capital is a type of good that can be consumed now, but if the consumption is be left to later, an increased supply of that good is likely to be available later, so you can sell it at a higher price or something along those lines. So capital helps the economy, and capitalism in turn helps the economy. A definition of capitalism donated by Google is an economic and political system in which countries' trade and industry are controlled by private owners for profit rather than state. I mean, they would only work for profit rather than the people's interests, wouldn't it? Well, Tim, that is where you are wrong. They are open to new ideas, new firms, and owners. That would increase the new capital. So if a profitable idea would happen to come in that would help society and increase the revenue, then the private owners that are looking after the political system would introduce that idea. Without all that fanciness that we have at the moment of having to place a bill and getting through a government of multiple ideals, where the idea would most likely be shut down or stopped. Give us an example of a profitable idea. Sure. An example would be the legalization of same-sex marriage. The government isn't allowing this at the moment, and even wasted a fair sum of our money on a plebiscite that hasn't even done anything to sway them. Also, people of Australia are wanting to pass the bill to allow same-sex marriage. If we had a capitalist government, the capitalist government saying the profit in allowing same-sex marriage by more people spending money on weddings, the source of profit from the legalization of same-sex marriage would be less suicide rates, since there is the acceptance of gay people in our society, so they'll be able to get a job, earn some money, and therefore pay tax when they earn enough money. Thanks to this, the government will be able to spend more money that they gain as revenue on other profitable ideas that will help the people and their government. This would be an excellent example of capitalism helping out our people. Well, that certainly would be useful. What else can a capitalist government do for us? Well, a capitalist government would also give this country economic growth. Capitalism will lead to an increased economic growth as it creates an atmosphere of innovation and economic expansion. This will lead in an increased GDP and to a higher living standards for most of our citizens. Everyone will benefit from the increased wealth caused by capitalism, thanks to the rundown from wealthy to all. Also, as mentioned before, a capitalist government would give to an era of innovations in the fields of medicine, science, health, and lifestyle. This would help improve the standard of people's life around Australia, as they would have new inventions to help them get through their daily lives. This is possible because the state firms, which are owned by the capitalist government, would be in places like CSIRO and other innovation organisations that will help develop new and interesting inventions. Can a capitalist government build more coal factories and not even glance at the possibility of renewable energy or any other idea that could help preserve our environment? No, a capitalist government will look at the idea of renewable energy, because sooner or later, the price of coal and petrol will be too expensive for any country to handle, so the quicker we find an alternative to coal and other fossil fuels, we can save more money for ourselves and use it to further improve our country. But doesn't that not have any profit? Yes, there is some profit in it, because we are not wasting our money building mines and collecting coal. And even if we are still relying on coal, when it all disappears from Australia and its natural grounds, we'll spend a massive amount on the import of coal and petrol to run machines, when we could just build a solar and wind farm and use that to collect our power. And hopefully, the investments that we will make in new ideas will give us the ability to store solar power, so it can be stored for later use when the sun doesn't even shine. Well, Tristan, it seems that's all we have time for. So I thank you for coming today, and from what it seems, a capitalist will definitely do our country good. Well, thanks for having me, and I hope soon that most of Australia will agree with me and vote for a capitalist government in the future.